Hello children, welcome in the history class of 6th standard. Students, today we are going to start a new lesson number 10, the Golden Age Gupta Empire. In this lesson, we will read introduction, sources of information, early Gupta kings, later Gupta kings, chief features of the Gupta dynasty, the Gupta period, the golden age of Indian history, and downfall of the Guptas. Students, in today's video, we will read sources of information related to the Gupta age. It includes literary sources, inscriptions, seals, monuments, and coins. Children, see the important term related to the today's video. Pilgrim, a person who makes a journey to a holy place. Now students, let's start reading of the lesson. As you have already studied, the Mauryas were succeeded by a number of native and foreign rulers. Of these, the Kushans in the north and the Satvahans in the south were the two most powerful kingdoms. But by the end of the 3rd century AD, the power of these two kingdoms declined and the country again broke up into a large number of small independent states, like those of the Nagas, the kingdom of Achchatra, Ayodhya, Kosambi, the kingdom of the Vakataks, the Mokharis, and the Guptas. It was in this background that the Gupta Empire rose to power in India. Under the Guptas, India progressed immensely in almost every field. Therefore, their rule is known as the Golden Age of ancient Indian history. Native rulers means local rulers. Immense means outstanding. So students, you have already studied the Mauryan Empire. After the downfall of the Mauryan Empire, local and foreign rulers became independent. The Kushans and the Satvahans came out as the most powerful kingdoms out of the native and foreign rulers. But after the decline of these two kingdoms, the country was again divided into a large number of small independent states. These independent states were the Nagas, the kingdom of Achchatra, Ayodhya, Kosambi, the kingdom of the Vakataks, the Mokharis, and the Guptas. Then the Guptas emerged as the most powerful among these kingdoms. So children, there was an outstanding progress in almost every field of India during the Gupta Empire. So due to this reason, the Gupta Empire is known as the Golden Age in the Indian history. Now students, let's start reading about the sources of information related to the Gupta age. The sources of information of the Guptas can be divided as under. Number 1. Literary. Literary means written. Under this paragraph, we will read the written sources related to the Gupta age. The literary sources are as follows. The Purans, especially the Vayu Puran, the Brahmand Puran, the Matsya Puran, and the Vishnu Puran give a full account of the Gupta Empire, its provinces and boundaries. The Dharma Shastras, the Kamandak Nitisar by Shikhar, poems and dramas like the Setubandh Kavya by Pravar Sen, Komudi Mahotsav by Vijika, Devi Chandraguptam and Mudra Rakshas by Vishakhadat. Accounts of Chinese travelers and pilgrims like Fahian and Etsing. So students, there are total 18 Purans in the Sanskrit literature, but the 4 Purans out of the 18 give us very useful information related to the Gupta Empire. They are the Vayu Puran, the Brahmand Puran, the Matsya Puran, and the Vishnu Puran. Another sources of information are the Dharma Shastras, the Kamandak Nitisar written by Shikhar, and a poem Setubandh Kavya written by Pravar Sen, a play Komudi Mahotsav by Vijika, Devi Chandraguptam and Mudra Rakshas were the two dramas written by Vishakha Dutt. Are the very important sources of information related to the Gupta age. Two Chinese travelers and pilgrims visited India during the Gupta age. Students, pilgrim is a person who makes a journey to a holy place. They were Fahian and Itsing. Their accounts also give us the useful information related to the Gupta Empire. Now, the second source of information is inscriptions. The main inscriptions that provide valuable information about the Guptas are the Allahabad pillar inscription, the Udaygiri cave inscription, the Mathura stone inscription, the Sanchi stone inscription, and the Bitari pillar inscription. So, children, inscription means a thing inscribed as on a monument or in a book, means writing something on a wall, pillar, or on a cave, etc. So, students, there were a number of inscriptions found related to the Gupta Empire. For example, the Allahabad pillar inscription, the Udaygiri cave inscription, the Sanchi stone inscription, and the Bitari pillar inscription. Now, let's come to the next source of information, seals. Seals give us an insight into the provincial and local administration. Students, Hindi meaning of seals is mohring. Insight means awareness. Provincial means states. These seals give us an awareness related to the provincial and local administration of the Gupta Empire. Next is monuments. The different monuments of this period give us information about the different forms of art and architecture of the Gupta period. Monument means a statue or building. So, students, the most famous monuments during the Gupta Empire are caves of Ajanta and Ellora. These monuments also give us an important information related to the Gupta Empire. Last source of information is coins. The coins of Chandragupta I, his queen Kumar Devi, Samudragupta, Chandragupta II, Kumargupta I, and Skandgupta give us information about this period. Gupta rulers issued a large number of gold coins. There were the pictures of different gods and goddesses carved on these coins. So, the coins issued by the different Gupta rulers also give us the valuable information related to the Gupta Empire. So, children, our today's topic is completed here. I hope the topic is clear to you. Now, students, your homework is do question number 1 of exercise 5 on copy.